The rain was merciless that night, one of those storms that swallowed the city whole. Tom Walker pulled his old pickup truck to the side of the road, windshield wipers screeching across the glass. He wasn't supposed to be out this late. His 8-year-old daughter, Lily, was waiting at home with leftover soup and a blanket she'd folded for him on the couch. But then he saw her. A woman in a soaked business suit, crawling on the edge of the road, one heel broken, clutching her leg. Headlights flashed over her pale, frightened face. Tom jumped out, sprinting through the rain. "Ma'am. Are you okay?" She looked up, tears mixing with the downpour. "Please. I can't walk." Her voice trembled, not from pain alone, but from something deeper. Tom lifted her gently, carrying her to the truck. She was shivering, clutching a designer bag as though her whole life was in it. Her name, he later learned, was Olivia Hartfield, CEO of one of the city's biggest corporations. A woman whose face he'd seen on billboards, the kind who usually gave speeches, not cries for help. At the hospital, the nurse said it was a severe ankle sprain, probably from a fall down the slope behind the highway. Olivia refused to call anyone. "No one can know," she whispered, turning her face away. Tom nodded, understanding the kind of pride that hides pain. He knew it too well. When the nurse left, Tom handed her a paper cup of coffee. "You look like you've had a long night." She almost laughed. "You have no idea." And so, while the storm raged outside, the two strangers talked. Olivia learned Tom was a mechanic and a single father. His wife had passed 3 years ago, leaving him to raise Lily on his own. "I fix cars, not people," he said quietly. "But sometimes, people just need someone to stop for them." That line stuck with her. The next morning, Olivia insisted on repaying him. She offered money, a new job, even a car. But Tom refused every offer. "Just get home safe," he said, starting his truck. For weeks after that, Olivia couldn't shake the image of him, his worn jacket, his calm eyes, his quiet strength. She'd built her empire on efficiency and results, but in that storm, the man who had nothing showed her what real value looked like. A month later, fate crossed their paths again. Tom had applied for a mechanic position at Hartfield Motors, without realizing it was her company. He walked into the final interview, his hands nervous but steady. When the panel introduced the CEO, his breath caught. It was her. Olivia froze too. Then, a slow smile spread across her face. "Mr. Walker," she said softly, "I believe you already passed your interview the night you stopped on that road." He blinked, confused. "You didn't just fix cars," she continued. "You fixed something in me that night." Over the months that followed, Olivia and Tom's paths intertwined again and again. She visited the workshop, brought Lily gifts, and slowly, laughter returned. Months passed. The stormy night that brought Tom and Olivia together had turned into a quiet memory, one that neither of them could quite forget. Olivia had changed. Her assistants whispered about it in the office corridors. The woman once feared for her icy composure now smiled at interns, brought coffee to late-working employees, and asked names she'd never bothered to learn before. But deep down, Olivia still carried a secret guilt. Behind her success was a story she never shared, a tragedy that had made her wall off her heart. Her younger brother, Daniel, had died in a car accident years ago. She'd been too busy to pick him up that night, too focused on closing a deal that would later make her millions. Since then, every act of kindness had felt like weakness, until the night Tom stopped for her in the rain. One Friday evening, Olivia showed up unannounced at Tom's small home. Lily opened the door first, grinning wide. "Miss Olivia. Daddy's fixing the washing machine again, it's making weird noises." Olivia laughed. "I think I can handle weird noises. I run a board meeting every morning." When Tom appeared, wiping his hands on a rag, he looked surprised but happy. Didn't expect to see you here, boss. Don't call me that, she said softly. Not tonight. They had dinner together, nothing fancy, just homemade pasta and laughter that echoed like music. For the first time in years, Olivia felt like she belonged somewhere that wasn't built on contracts and corporate walls. Later, while Lily was asleep, Tom poured her a cup of tea. You know, he said, I think sometimes people forget how to be taken care of. Especially the strong ones. Olivia stared at him, her eyes glassy. I used to think being strong meant never needing help. And now? She smiled faintly. Now I think it means letting someone in, when you do. As seasons changed, their bond deepened. Tom found himself fixing more than engines, he fixed hearts, slowly, quietly. And Olivia found herself showing up not because she had to, but because she wanted to. Lily adored her. She'd run into her arms every time she visited, calling her Aunt Liv. Sometimes, Olivia's eyes would well up, and she'd whisper, I wish I'd had someone like you when I was your age. Tom saw it. The loneliness behind the success. The longing for family. And though they never said it out loud, something beautiful had begun, a connection neither had planned but both deeply needed. Then came a twist that neither expected. One afternoon, Olivia's board voted her out of her own company. A scandal, fabricated by jealous partners, spread across the media, claiming she'd used funds improperly. Overnight, she lost everything she'd built. When the news broke, reporters camped outside her apartment. Former colleagues refused her calls. But when she opened her door one cold morning, there stood Tom and Lily. Tom didn't say a word. He just held out a thermos of coffee and said,